The only podcast coming through your beat stereo. It's Cherie's World, so let's go around like a merry-go. Plug your phone in, make sure it got a full battery. Download it Wednesday, listen to it Saturday. She cover all topics, whatever you after. She got ball players, authors, doctors, actors, rappers, singers, entrepreneurs, divas, leaders. Androids or Apple, turn up your speakers. Trying to shoot my shot like the vaccine. Whether it's Cherie or Maxine, whether the podcast or acting, she that queen. PYT, you know what that mean. Saw you on TV and touch the screen. Touch on you, I plead Lucy's got a crush on you. It'll mean the world to get a blush from you. Teaspoon to me, leave you sleep like Robitussin.
What's up, Cherie's World Podcast? You guys send in requests. Most of the time I try to honor them. Sometimes I ignore them. But today, this show is all for you. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been asking, so today, she's here. That's right, my best friend is in the house. The writer, the actress, the director, the producer of the new Punky Brewster reboot. Let's welcome no other, Soleil Moon Frye. The best heart of anybody that I've ever met. Oh. Seriously. You want to play that game with us, Courtney?
Yeah. Can I ask one quick question though? Cherie always this story. I love Cherie telling me. Maybe you can expand on it.
Anything.
Pissing off Johnny Carson. I love this.
Oh, we ran away. Okay, so we literally. There may have been some drama on the set. I don't know. Some kids might have been getting into it, and I got really scared of getting into trouble or something, and I ran away and I hid in Johnny Carson's office. Is that the time, or when we would just? Yeah. So I ran away and I hid out at Johnny Carson's. And that's what happened. True story.
Poor Johnny Carson. He was probably like, why are these kids always here?
Like in his office or something. I don't know.
Wow. All right. So this is like who's more likely between the both of you. Who's more likely to do Playboy?
Both.
I'll take the blame, but yes, probably both.
All right, who watches TV?
Oh my God, could you imagine? Oh my God, the two of us, what?
Man, you talking about, now that's some promotion for the show.
I don't know if the show would be happy, but.
I never said that. You cut that part out.
Look, let us go 8 seasons. We might try.
Oh, man. MILF edition. All right. Who watches TV the most?
Who what?
Who watches TV the most?
I haven't watched TV in so long.
Oh,
I watched Hamilton this year. Does that count?
Well, I'm watching Peacock now and the Punky reboot like every day. Peacock TV. Yeah. It's like on 24/7. But you know what? I think I love watching TV, but I really wanted to use this time, which I don't believe in time in the, like, we could talk about that later, but like in time, I believe in space time, and I don't believe it in the traditional sense. Like, oh my God, Soleil is going into her hippie, chit chat. But my point being that I wanted to try to read and like give myself the best college education that I could of looking within. And so I started studying a lot of the great philosophers and studying quantum physics and things like that. So I tried to use this opportunity to do as much reading as possible. But normally I like to.
Me and you gotta. When next time we have you on, you gotta expand on that quantum physics, because I've been I'm kind of into that kind of stuff.
I'll show you my book collection, which you'll be like, oh my God, it's like.
I'm really like into that kind of stuff. Okay, who's more likely to exercise?
She's my workout partner. I FaceTime her when I'm on the elliptical.
And I kind of lay down.
The funny thing is I do it more just to like, I don't know, just to
keep up your energy.
Get my juices pumped. That doesn't sound right. To get
the juices pumped up.
I saw this.
You're like, who is this Soleil Moon Private Come?
I saw this on your Instagram page, so I figure I asked. But who's more likely to be caught at a Snoop Dogg concert?
Me, for sure. Me or you? Me, right?
You!
Yeah,
you.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I love, like, Snoop is fun to hang out with.
Snoop is what? Say that again?
Snoop is fun to hang out with.
Really?
Yes. He's like one of my favorite. I have only hung out with him on like 1 or 2 occasions, maybe one, and it was really great.
Oh, yeah. I hung out with him once too.
Do you guys have little like pictures that you can add into your podcast?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
For you, yeah.
Good.
I
I'll
used
show
to
you
do all that for everybody else.
the Snoop and I picture early enough in the evening.
Yeah. Okay, who curses the most?
And
You think you?
I feel maybe you. Maybe you.
Yeah, I think Cherie. I'm gonna
My
go.
daughters and my son. Sons.
Who was the player growing up?
Probably me.
You.
Probably. Yeah. Soleil was a good girl.
Uh-oh.
Well, here's the thing. I was like the kissing queen, but I didn't like. I was like the girl. I was like the last virgin, but I was like I'd kiss, you know. Like I was like, but I always had great guy friends, but I didn't have like a lot of serious relationships when I was.
She got married really early.
Yeah.
So you got married, and I was still single for like years.
Yeah.
Well,
Cherie is way more of a player than I ever actually even knew.
Yeah, I'm starting to find that out too.
I mean, I'm retired now, but
I would disagree.
but I might be coming back. You know, everything kind of goes full circle.
It all goes full circle.
I am having my full circle moment. I hit my microphone and everything. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Courtney.
All right. Who's dated a rapper?
Well, I mean, yeah. I think both of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
I dated a few. Did you date a few?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we both had a thing for rappers, for sure.
I was gonna say no. I was gonna lie. I just
I think our love of rappers never really ended.
no. It's still continuing today. I was gonna say no. I only dated one, but then I forgot that Shaheem was actually a guest on the show, so I don't think.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
This
did you? We do have a thing. Like, it was so funny. Cherie made one of my favorite comments the other day. She's like, "You and I on a rap tour." I'm like, "Yes, 20 something. Cherie and I are like, we're gonna manifest. We are on a hip hop rap tour."
Yes.
All right. So you and Cherie are in the club, right?
Yeah. Right.
So let's say you and Cherie in the club. Too Short's "Blow the Whistle" song comes on, and he says, "What's my favorite word?" Who's the first one to say, "Bitch"? I guess we know.
They call me Too Short, but I can start. Wait, I'll start like going into. Do they call it? See, the lyrics that I would sing right now are not illegal for a podcast.
Okay.
Because of my.
All right.
Or my, like, we could do like. Right.
All right, here's a good one for you, Soleil. Here's a good. Who's more likely to meet a guy off the internet and start a business with?
Well, I get a little sketched out by like, I don't know. I'm like,
I think that's me and Courtney.
yeah.
That's how we started the podcast. I met him on Instagram.
Yeah, I interviewed.
I'm like, I don't know. Although I did have an interesting experience recently with the DM, which was very cool.
Who eats the most? Really?
Well, she might eat more often, but I think
Saw me. I couldn't even start this until I shoved like everything in my mouth.
She ate too, so.
I ate too. Just before you got on, I was eating pizza, and I was actually telling Courtney, I make pizza at least twice a month, and I think it's because of your mom.
Oh my
Your
God,
mom is the reason why I love like Italian food.
I love it.
Because her mom was an amazing caterer, and that's the first person that taught me how to make homemade pizza.
I've been doing some research, and this is one of my favorite people in the world because of things like quantum physics, but Back to the Future. Who hit Michael J. Fox in the head with a ball?
You?
Me?
Yeah. What do you mean? When?
In the hallway at NBC.
I did?
Yes.
What did I do?
You were throwing a ball. I was supposed to catch it. I just didn't catch it. But you threw it and it hit the back of his head? You don't remember that?
No.
In the hallway.
But he was probably so sweet, right?
He was so sweet. He threw the ball back to me and he looked at you and he said, "Good catch, kiddo." I mean, good throw, kiddo.
Well, by the way, now I just found a very funny clip of Jenny Lewis and I at a Back to the Future 2 premiere, I think. And we're like fully doing, before there was like where you would jump into a picture, we're like, he's on screen and we obviously want to be on camera so bad that we're like, hey! It was so funny. Anyway, you can pull that out. It was good.
Yes, but he told Soleil she had a great arm because she said.
That's so funny.
And he was so sweet about it.
So
Right.
funny.
Who had a crush on Johnny Depp?
Me, for sure.
Really?
Massive. Such a big crush. Yes, I love Johnny Depp as a little girl amongst every other heartthrob. I was like, this is the thing. I had so many crushes growing up. I was the crushing queen.
We're out of time. When you see this picture, what memories come to mind?
Sabrina, Melissa Joan Hart, Roxy. I had so much fun doing that show, and really good times working with people.
What about this picture?
Ooh,
Heartthrob.
yeah, I like that picture. That is like Stuff magazine when I was so excited because I had become a WB girl and I was like, oh my God, it's so exciting. And I get to take pictures of like oil all over. And like, I was very excited about, about being able to like do something that was sensual and
Hot
different
picture.
and fun.
What about this picture right here?
Oh, Cherie, is that when you passed out from the refrigerator?
Yes.
Oh, boo-boos, the refrigerator. That episode, man, down in history. Historic.
Man.
Cherie, you made history with that episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
What about this one right here? What do you think? What comes to mind for both of you when you see this?
look at her clothes.
One of my lifelong best friends. Like, I love it.
I look at her clothes and just bust out laughing.
I see one of my best friends and she's, oh, I think I had a bigger crush on him than you did. Is that Paul Robinson?
Yeah.
Yes. The look on your face in that.
Look at how in love. Look at how dreamily. Look at what you could always tell when I was crushed out on somebody. Because like if you pull that picture back up, look at how I'm looking at him. Right? She's supposed to be the one crushed out on him. Right? Is what they're saying. But look at me. See. I had good taste.
That face is so cute. Yeah, you've always had great taste.
Oh, Fred Savage. I remember. Yeah, that was
Years.
me going through puberty.
Oh.
Zoe! I love Zoe. Oh my gosh, and we're back. I'm so excited. We've been recording. I've been recording from my closet.
Are you kidding me? The Proud Family?
Proud Family, Disney Plus. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Congratulations.
Thank
You know what? So
You need to come to the show.
I did an episode. I was gonna say I played Chanel, but they gave my credit to Beyonce Solange because Solange did the movie, so they gave my TV credit to her.
Okay, well, we need to discuss this, but I love being a part of that show, and you need to come visit us.
I would love to.
Oh, Mark Paul. Okay, so here's a really funny story. So Mark Paul, I liked him so much, and he was on Punky before I did Saved by the Bell, and we went to a dance together, and it's so funny because I had sat down with him not too long ago, and I remember when we had our dance, that I remember LL Cool J, I Need Love playing, and I was like, I could hear it in the back of my mind, and I like literally, I would literally listen to that song thinking of him. And then when we got together and caught up, he was like, yeah, we were behind the curtain, and literally the dance was, hey, we want some. And it was like 2 Live Crew. So this is how perspectives, right, can change. Like in my mind, it was LL Cool J, I Need Love. And in his mind, it was 2 Live Crew. And he was like, how do I dance to this? Like, what am I supposed to do? And I, like, my memory of it was like this romantic song. Anyway, we had 2 completely different memories of the same night.
That is funny.
That is some hidden treasure.
Okay, she's gonna kill me. We were supposed to let her go 10 minutes ago.
No, I'm good. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yes. Why don't I want to show you a picture. Hold on a second.
Oh my God. I'm scared of what Soleil's gonna bring up.
What do you think when you see that picture, though, if you don't mind me asking?
She said, oh my God. I don't think there's more.
Come on now. Come on now. Yes. Yes.
That's what I'm putting on there.
That is Las Vegas. Woo!
So for all
With
those
my
people,
crystal Gale hair. Look at how long my hair is.
it's so pretty.
Were you guys on set with when the Hogan family was on there too? I think that was an NBC show.
The Hogan family.
Jason Bateman. Were you guys on set with Jason Bateman?
Oh, I don't think so. But
I love Jason Bateman.
I do too.
He's great. And then this is something that I'm really, let me see if I can find it. Sorry, I wasn't trying to.
No, but I'm looking out too. I'm gonna make you laugh.
But I get very excited about this. So this is my dad during the March in Washington.
Yeah, that's what I saw that on your page. That is dope.
Can we steal these off your page and for the podcast?
Oh, consider them stolen already.
Yes.
Just so you know, her dad.
Hold on, I'm gonna try to.
Coming from her, it's one thing, but coming from me, it's a different. Her dad was one of the sweetest, most genuine, best pancake.
I mean, he was pretty wild too, but
the best pancake maker in the world.
Ah! Okay, wait. Are you guys still filming? I just wanted to find something really quick. I'm so sorry. I'm totally.
That's right, my boo is in the house. We are talking about my fiance from Punky Brewster. So, stay tuned. You'll get to meet her the way I know her.
Wow.
I love her, Courtney. Not look, just so you know, when we get together, it's a huge love fest. I love her.
It is.
She's smart. She's talented. You never know what's going to come out of her mouth. And every day, she reminds me of me. It's like looking in a mirror. It's a different conversation. Every time, like we might do a scene and then walk away from each other for 10 minutes, but when we come back, the conversation is totally different and intriguing than what we had when we left each other.
And this is the first time you guys met was on a set. This is the first time you guys met.
Mm-hmm.
The first time we met, it was she had on a mask and a shield.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see her face 5 minutes before I got to kiss her.
Oh.
That's right.
Nice.
Literally, right? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah.
What was it like kissing me, Jasika?
Cherie, what? What is wrong with you? I mean, it was fine. I've been kissing women for a long time, women and non-binary people. So for me, it was just a really pretty set of lips to kiss. What was it like kissing me, Cherie?
Amazing. It was like I finally I got to greet you the way I would want to. You know, like I would No, wait. Because like we had to stay 6 feet apart. So when I met her, I wasn't able to even walk up and give her a hug.
Yeah.
And say, hi. Not that I just want to walk up to strangers and like tongue them down, but you know, somebody who you know that you're going to be working in close proximity with her energy is beautiful. She's a ray of light. So I would have loved to walk up and say, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for being here. I wasn't really able to do that. Yeah. You know, I found her outside of her trailer, thank God, but it was still mask and shield and we were staying away from each other.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a really weird environment. And that's why I kind of asked her, like, what was it like kiss? Because literally she saw me for 5 minutes.
Right. Yeah, I truly did. That was the first time that I saw the bottom half of your face, like from when you were a little girl. Like, wow. I know, it was so bizarre. And that's the other thing, is that when you join a show, you know, you're kind of joining somebody's family. They're inviting you into their family. And so those first few days on set that's your opportunity to make relationships with people and get to know them and learn about them. And you know, I was so thankful that I was working, but COVID really stripped that away from all of us, I think, on the show. I do think that we formed our relationships, but it just took a long time because we could not hear. I could not hear what anybody was saying because the face shields would bounce your voice back. And then you couldn't read lips like you normally do when you can't hear very well because they were covered up with the mask. And so for the first like 3 or 4 days that we were together, I was just nodding my head a lot and raising my eyebrows because I didn't know what anybody was saying to me. And I was trying to emote as much as possible. I would come home with headaches from like going like that all day long with people to let them know I was listening and trying to engage with them. Yeah. It was just exhausting in a way that I've never experienced being on a set before.
I kept telling her, I'm smiling at you.
Yeah.
We love Jasika. Soleil and I have had many conversations about how Jasika came in, and it's like, we don't really remember a time when you were never there.
That's a huge compliment. Thank you so much. No, thank you.
Okay, so you can go on.
Yes.
You can get off Punky now because I know he's got many.
Well, I do got 2 more Punky questions. What did both of you all think of the and can we talk about the specific scenes or?
Yeah.
Episode? Okay.
I think the spoiler time is over.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's out. Yeah.
What did both of you all think of the engagement episode when you guys both proposed to each other?
Let me tell you, the most beautiful moment for me was not even on camera. I don't even know if Jasika remembers it, but Jasika walked in the door and they had called cut and we had to do it again. Jasika looked at me and said, "What else do you need from me?" What a dream. Are you kidding? Nothing. I need you.
For me, that scene was, it was interesting because I had actually auditioned with that scene and that scene and another scene. And so my partner and I, they always they'll do the reader version. They'll read with me for my auditions on the other side of the camera. And we've been married for a long time, but we didn't have a wedding or anything like that because I'm just not into weddings. So we got married with like one witness and our, the person who does it, who makes it legit, right in our living room. It was cool, low key, not a big deal. But there was there's no like romantic involvement or excitement when you together make the decision to get married. And again, I wouldn't take it back. I don't regret it, but there's something that's very, sweet and lovely when you see people get married and have an engagement, or you see it, portrayed in a movie or a TV show or something. And so there was this part of us that was like, that got to kind of live through an engagement when we were actually auditioning for it, which was unexpected, but so fun. And so when I got to do it on stage with Cherie, it was just like, it's like getting to live different versions of your life, honestly. And that only happens when you can really personally connect to a character, which, again, this is the first queer role that I've ever played on network television. So I had a different kind of connection to it than any other role that I've ever played. And it was just lovely and sweet in all the ways that you would want an engagement to be. I will also say, though, that there was, Cherie and Soleil have a very special bond because they've known each other for so long, and not only known each other for so long, but went through a lot of life together at a very young age. There's not a lot of people who have the exact kind of story that y'all have shared together. And so you could even tell in the way that the scene was the way that the scene was written was that Punky was supposed to be a very integral part of this engagement. And there were a lot of moments that Cherie and Soleil had together on set where it felt like it felt like a family was expanding as opposed to like two people uniting. It felt like, oh my gosh, this family unit that they have has gotten bigger. Lauren is being invited into the fold too. And I just thought that was sweet. You don't really get to see, romance kind of depicted in a way that's so inclusive of other people. And that's what the Punky Brewster show is about. It's about chosen family. It's about surrounding yourself with the people that uplift you and support you, encourage you, and kind of eschewing the idea that family has to look nuclear or has to be traditional. It doesn't have to be any of those things if you're getting everything that you need out of it. And so I felt like this particular scene was just like a little bit of icing on that whole Punky reboot cake.
Can I? This is my last. Well, maybe not my last, but I don't know if me and Cherie been working together since 2019, and
wow,
yeah, she didn't tell me none of this. So like, I found out about all of this when everybody else found out. So look, me and her, we do a podcast where we interview people. I actually watch her interviews, and I actually listen to a lot of her interviews. And so when she said that when they told her about her role, she says, you got to understand that a lot of men have grew up attracted to me. So
sure. So
I need, if I'm going to be this role, I need a beautiful woman. And voila, they picked you. How does that make you feel? I need a beautiful woman to be my.
I did. I told him, bring me a baddie. I said, because I didn't want them to do the stereotypical, we have one who's a femme, one who's a stud. I didn't want the stereotypes, and I needed to.
It's so okay. I'm caught up. I guess it makes me feel good because Cherie got what she wanted, which makes me happy. I will also say, though, that it is very rare to see butch women depicted in television. They don't like seeing masculine women on TV. They are way more comfortable with like feminized gay women. That again, that's like a safe thing for them. Oh, take a look back in your mind of all the 4 Black queer relationships that you've seen in TV. There just aren't that many of them. But I'll tell you what, having masculine women on TV, it makes them extremely uncomfortable. And so that is something that I hope will change. I think it all feeds into the same thing. The more that we normalize, again, what a non-traditional relationship looks like in television and film, the more opportunities we have to show like how vast our queer community is, how vast our Black community is. It's the same thing. Like we're finally coming out of a period where we only see Black people in these kind of ways. And that is one of the reasons that Insecure was such a big deal, because it was showing Black women who weren't like necessarily all powerful and like I'm a lawyer. Like, yes, we have those Black women, but we also have like Black women who are trying to figure it out and looking for love in absolutely all the wrong places and making crappy decisions. Like I can name you 1,700 different ways there are to be white based on what I have seen on television. But we Black people don't get 1,700 different ways to be Black. Like it's not a part of mainstream. And that's because Black people aren't allowed to be making all these decisions. It's always still white people who are in charge and putting on TV, again, what they think audiences want to see. So I feel like all of this is a step in the right direction. But to be able to like evolve our understanding of what a community looks and feels like, instead of having it be this very flat thing, like, this is what it looks like to be gay, or this is what it looks like to be trans, or whatever it is. I want to expand that. Like it's such a vast community. All of our marginalized communities are so vast. I want to see every single side of them in television and in movies and in books.
It's your girl, Cherie Johnson, coming to let you know that
Cherie's World Podcast is now brought to you by Digital Soapbox. You can listen to us every Monday and you can watch us on Wednesday. Please like and subscribe now. Our next guest really doesn't need an intro, especially after you see her face. You're going to know exactly who she is and exactly how we're friends. But for formality, I'll tell you her name. We've got Amy Foster in the house. That's right. This is a Punky Brewster special. I have to ask you, Amy, with like all the hype about Punky coming back, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does Punky power mean to you?
Gosh, I think TV has gone so different now that what Punky had that is missing in the world now is just that wholesomeness. Punky power is believing in yourself, being a strong individual, kind of standing by how you feel and your own opinions and not being swayed because you're maybe different, because Punky was different. So I think way back when our show was a thing, there wasn't as many oddities in the world.
Yeah.
But so I think coming back and reestablishing that in such tougher times, I think it's what kids need. They need to know it's okay to be different, because when the show first came out, it was unusual to be different. Like, her life circumstances weren't common in society at that time. But now in society, it could be very common. And I think right now, kids mostly, but all people kind of need that to know, like, just because I'm different doesn't mean I'm different. You know, I'm still a human and I'm still the same person, and you can still love me or like me the same. You don't have to judge me for that. And I think Punky Power sort of was about her teaching people to not judge each other over, you know, being different.
We definitely need that now.
We do, don't we?
What was your favorite episode from the original?
Oh my gosh. I think probably my favorite episode, honestly, was Cherie getting stuck in the refrigerator, because it was just so like intense. And for us and the type of content we had, we didn't have a lot of we had underlying seriousness, but it was really kind of like fun loving a lot. So that was one that just was really like hit differently. So I think that was probably one of my favorite to watch for sure. And then I always have one that just sticks out in my head. And that's when Margaux lost all her money, but it only sticks out in my head because I broke my nose that week. And so do you remember that, Cherie?
Yes, on the chair.
Yes.
Yes.
And your mom and my mom were gone shopping.
Yes.
Because it was around Christmas time.
Yeah.
And so I had to go to the ER with our set teacher.
Yes.
And we came out and they were like, listen, she's going to be really bruised in about 12 hours. So if you can shoot now, do it. And we literally busted out that show in like the next 6 hours. It was crazy, that episode.
And
so that one sticks in my mind just because of that.
You know what's so funny? We just watched that. So your niece is watching it. Your niece goes, Mommy, Aunt Amy is the sassy one. She's so sassy. And I was like,
That's a nice word for it.
Right? I never thought of you as sassy. But when we were watching it, I didn't remember that you had broke your nose, but your face was so sad and you had your tears. And I'm like, now that you're saying it, I'm like, oh, maybe that's why.
Yeah, she was really swollen.
Her performance was so good.
Yeah, no, for real. But I just remember us like managing it on our own at like 11 years old because our parents were out shopping. And we were afraid to tell anybody they weren't there.
Yes, because you had to sign guardianship papers back then.
Right.
And another parent would watch you. And to Ruth Ann.
I think either that or my dad might have been there, but you know, my dad couldn't have got to the hospital. So I think it was that. But I don't know. But that one just sticks out in my mind because it was such a crazy event. But my favorite to watch is probably Cherie in the refrigerator.
That was an amazing episode. I'm talking about you losing everything because as such a young actress, you brought such emotion and it was a range.
Mm-hmm. It still had to be a comedy. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So it was different. Yeah.
Now, Courtney, I have to admit, between the two of us, Amy has always been more mature and she's always been like very serious about her craft. So while I didn't even understand that we were working, for her, this was her career.
Yeah.
Like she was serious.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember like diving deep and like studying? And because I think I just showed up, dude. I'm not gonna
I think we all did kind of. No, I mean, I remember maybe like a little bit before we started the show, or maybe early on in the show, I remember training a little bit because I had really gone from primarily commercials into television. So I remember training a little bit then, but not really during the show because we just didn't have time.
Yeah, no.
So we just didn't. But I do remember as a teenager doing that more.
You were amazing. Just so you know, Courtney, Amy is also the talented one. So
No.
Sing and she
No, I was just the crazy daring one.
That too. But Soleil and I were talking about the tap dance episode.
Oh my gosh, remember? I just saw that. I just watched that like last week. Yes.
Yeah, we did too. And my baby was watching it and the baby looks at me and she goes, Mommy, so you and Aunt Soleil can't dance. Aunt Amy's the one. And I said, how did you know? And she said,
That's funny.
She said, well, they put you off to the side. And she's 6, but she figured it out. She was like, well, they put you off to the side and you were like off beat. She said, but Aunt Amy, she just knows everything.
Wow.
And I was like, that was a lot of pressure that week for Soleil and I.
I know. I felt like, honestly, it was a little bit unfair because I had been tap dancing since I was literally like 4 years old. So, I mean, a lot of people don't even realize that that's how I even got in the industry.
Yeah. So not only does she tap dance, I just got to gloat a little bit and then you could tell us the story.
Okay.
She can tap dance. She can clog, which I had never heard of before I saw her do it.
Yeah, I don't really know why anybody would. It's odd that that was even in my repertoire.
But ballet, jazz, and you could sing. So can you tell us how you got started in this whole acting thing?
Yeah, so really acting just fell in my lap because I lived in San Diego. We lived in a really small town in San Diego. And I just started taking dance lessons when I was really little. I had just asked to, like, I think I wanted to take like a ballet class or something like that. And it just kind of clicked. And I danced a lot and started doing like dance competitions. And literally my dance teachers were 2 ladies that did it like in the back of their house. Yeah, it was just like this little, like, you know, man-made little, not even really a business, you know, just kind of a little hobby they did that kind of became big because we started winning. But anyway, long story short, one of the owners also played the piano and sang a little bit. And so I was doing, I want to say, a routine that was like Shirley Temple. And so she was like, wouldn't it be cool if she like did singing and dancing? It was like a song and dance thing. And so they brought me in to see if I could sing, and it just, we found out I could. So that kind of was what happened. And so that particular routine, because Shirley Temple used to tap, they had me do tap dancing and singing. And we did little like regional competitions, nothing big, but I happened to keep winning all the regionals, and it sent me to this national, which was the United States Tap Dance Championships. And I won it, and I was 5. Yeah. Wow. And so when I won that, an agent was there. And so they kind of approached me and asked if I wanted to come and meet them. So I did. We went and met them. And again, I was like 5, and we're from a small town in San Diego. And we were kind of like, oh, maybe we'll think about it. And then for my 6th birthday, my mom said, what do you want for your birthday? And I said, I kind of want to do that thing the agent said. And she was like, you want to try that? And we were like, I would like to do that. So that's kind of it. And then she let me sign with them. So I just started auditioning, and, you know, I did a lot of commercials, right off the get-go. And then kind of delved a little bit into television, and ended up with Punky. So it was kind of crazy in the beginning because we were commuting, and we came home one day and my dad had a for sale sign up. I was like, yeah, this is crazy. We're going to need to move. So we moved to Orange County. We didn't go to LA, but we moved to Orange County.
We're not finished with our Punky Brewster special. Today, we've got another Punky Kid in the house. That's right. Mr. Oliver De Los Santos is in the house all the way from Australia.
Hi, Cherie. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm so excited to be here.
I am so happy to have you here. For you guys that don't know, Ollie is like my nephew. I am totally in love with this bright, little, intelligent, talented boy. So I want you to know him like I know him. Do you want to tell everyone where you live?
I live in Brisbane, Australia, the Sunshine State, but unfortunately, it's not living up to its name today because it's raining.
Ollie, how long have you been acting?
It must be about 4 years because when I was 7, I got my first audition and I nearly landed a lead role in A Wrinkle in Time. Yeah, so it must have been about 4 years.
How did you find out about the audition for Punky Brewster?
Well, the audition came through my agents, like normal. I'd never heard of the show before that, but my mom used to watch it when she was little, and she told me all about it, and so I was really excited to audition for it.
Have you ever even had the chance to watch the original show?
Well, it's not available in Australia, so I couldn't watch it here. And I had to wait till we went back to America to film the rest of season 1. And as soon as I had the chance, I binged it on Peacock, and I absolutely loved it. Cherie, you and Soleil were the cutest little actors ever.
Aw, you're so sweet.
The show was so entertaining, and it's cool and kind of surreal because I'm watching you in the original, and then the next day I'm going to work and working with you. It's so cool.
Tell us about your character.
So Daniel is one of Punky's 2 adopted sons. He's a neat freak, and he's the exact opposite of his brother. And they share a room, so you can imagine that gets interesting. He's super smart, and he likes a lot of different things, and sometimes he does things that people think are too girly for boys, like wearing eyeliner or painting his nails. But what I love about him is that he doesn't care what other people think of him, and he just does what feels right for him. And I think that's super important, you know, that people feel empowered to be themselves. And I hope that when people watch our show, they feel that they can do that. Daniel's a really strong kid, and I feel really honored to be able to play him.
We're the Punky Kids! Hi, Cherie's World. I'm Lauren Donzis. I'm Noah Cottrel.
I am Oliver De Los Santos.
I play Hannah.
And I play Diego.
Daniel. On the new Punky Brewster reboot. Yeah. Hey. And we're siblings, believe it or not.
I miss you. It already feels like it's been way too long.
It has. How's the holidays? How's the new year? What's going on?
It's all been good. You know, school's a lot, but making it happen. And I'm just super excited for the release. I mean, it's like in a month.
Yes. Are you doing like all this Punky press right now? What's going on?
So much. There's all these interviews, and aren't we having like some panel stuff? There's a lot going on, which is exciting.
Yes. Very exciting. So I just want to briefly talk about your life pre-Punky.
Sure.
You've been working forever, girl.
Since I was 7, yes.
And my daughter is a huge fan, which I've told you before. I know, so cute. Liv and Maddie. What is it? No Nick.
No Good Nick.
No Good Nick.
Yes.
Just so many. Like Courtney, I'm sure your kids watch her.
Austin and Allie.
Austin, yes.
I did that.
What has been your favorite?
Oh gosh, I mean, individually they're all so different, everything that I've been on, and I think that they all like helped me grow as an actor in different ways. I mean, prior to Punky, No Good Nick was probably my first like big thing. It was 20 episodes, and I really got to like dive into the emotional side of acting, and I'd never really done that before. I'd usually focused on, you know, comedy and, you know, lighthearted stuff, and it was a challenge, but it was so like, it was honestly an incredible experience. I got to work with so many amazing actors, Melissa Joan Hart, Sean Astin, they played my parents, and just the cast, the crew. We really were like a family, and I think that might have been the first experience acting-wise where I learned how much I really loved it, because I was old enough to understand the craft and everything, and it's amazing.
So Courtney has a son that is starting to dabble.
Oh my gosh, that's fun.
Well, background stuff. He did, you know, background
Well,
stuff.
I mean, you got to start somewhere.
Yes, it's a start. What would you tell like a Hollywood dad or a momager about being the parent of a child actor?
Okay, well, as someone who has the momager and a dadager, I would say don't butt in too much. Here's the thing. I find that when my mom is constantly sitting on me to like do stuff and get stuff done, I want to do it less in a weird way. But when I have my own personal space and I'm able to really just like focus, I get things done a lot quicker. But then again, everyone's different when it comes to like responsibility, and some people need that person to kind of sit on them to get things done. But be supportive too. And rejection is a huge part of the industry. So whenever, you know, that is dealt with, just, you know, be supportive and let them know that that's gonna happen, but still like support their dream. Because I know that if my mom hadn't been there to like hug me and tell me it was okay and that everything happens for a reason when I was rejected for something, I would probably like the industry a lot less.
Oh,
And I'd feel a lot worse about myself, because she kept reminding me that like, just because I don't book something doesn't mean I'm not talented, or doesn't mean I don't have that special something. It's just a matter of what role's right for you.
She's right. They say one job out of 100 auditions.
Exactly. It's actually so true. Unfortunately, I've had way more rejection than I have had success, but like, and I've found that like the stuff that I have booked, I think I was meant to book. And they've all wound up being such incredible experiences, and I wouldn't want to do anything else, you know?
Yeah. Well, talk to me about like being rejected. Like I remember not making the basketball or baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
And that hurt. Like, but that's as far as I've ever been rejected, you know what I mean? But as a kid. So I'm trying to think like what is that conversation like with yourself and your parents?
Well, at first, it was a little bit harder to take on rejection. I was like, did I do something wrong? Is something wrong with me? But I realized it has nothing to do with you. The industry is so competitive, and there's constantly like hundreds of people auditioning for one role. And a lot of the time, it doesn't come down to the talent. It comes down to the look, how well you fit the role. Like, I've gone out for several roles, and they wound up going a completely different direction ethnic-wise. So I couldn't feel bad about that. I can't compete with someone who's a completely different ethnicity than I am. And so I learned personally that I shouldn't feel bad about rejection, because it's not in my hands. Like once I audition, it's out of my hands, and I have to go with that. I have to believe that everything happens for a reason. And if I don't book something, I wasn't meant to.
What's for you is for you, baby girl.
Exactly.
So speeding it up way ahead, what's for you is for you. Punky Brewster. What was the audition process like for Punky?
Oh, this is fun. So when I auditioned for Punky, I was still on hold for No Good Nick, because we hadn't found out if we got a season 2 yet. So I went in for the audition. I actually worked with these casting directors before. They cast me in this other show. Love them. They're two of the sweetest guys. And I went in. I actually thought I did terribly. I came out and I felt so bad about it. I was like, well, that's out the window. And they wound up calling my agent, and they were mad. They were like, why would you give her to us in second position? we loved her. Why would you put us in this position? I was like, wait a minute, what? I was so confused. I mean, I was happy, but I was worried because I was like, wait, I don't want them to be mad. No Good Nick didn't get picked up. And so obviously I was really upset because I loved that show and I loved the people I was working with. But I was like, you know, maybe it didn't get picked up for a reason. Maybe this Punky thing is actually going to go somewhere. So the callback was technically like the producer session. Soleil was there. I was so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Soleil Moon Frye. Like, I have to nail this. If I don't nail this, it's over. And like a bunch of my friends were at the callback. So it was pretty chill. I was like talking to them and, you know, just hanging out. I go in the room and Jonathan's there. And I look at, I know he looks so nice, but I was also incredibly intimidated. Steve and Jim, I was like, oh boy. Wound up actually feeling really good about it. Very good about it. So I was like, okay, then we go to screen test. And I was like, all right, this is the final straw. Let's do it. And after I was in the room for like 30 minutes, I came out and Steve came out and was like, where do you live? What's your life like? Like, where are you from? And I was like, here. Like, I didn't know if that was a good thing. And then like, not even a few days later, they were like, oh yeah, you got the part, by the way. And I was like, oh, yay. So it was meant to happen.
Yes, and what's crazy is, I don't know if everybody's following, but she was on a show with Melissa Joan Hart, who happens to be really good friends with Soleil Moon Frye.
Yes, crazy. And Melissa actually messaged Soleil and was like, you're going to like this girl. Like, you should give her a chance.
Yes, so you go from one great mom to the next great mom.
And they were on Sabrina the Teenage Witch together.
Yes.
So coincidental. Small world.
Did you ever watch, or have you watched recently the original Punky?
I have seen some of the episodes. It's so cute. The pilot was like heart-wrenching. And Cherie, you never told me how cute of a child you were.
I was hoping you'd never see it.
Why?
I was such a bad actress.
Okay, I didn't think you were that bad. But second of all, you were adorable. So if you were, that made up for it.
My hand just kept doing this. Anytime you like watch me, I didn't know what to do with my arms.
I did that when I was 11, I live in Maddie, and my friend made fun of me for it. I was like, whatever. Like, I couldn't. Like, why was that my instinct?
I watch it now, and it's just like I'm flying. I didn't know what I was doing. Not that I'm such a better actress now.
Girl, you're amazing.
No.
Do not downplay your ability.
So, no, I'm not downplaying, but Courtney, let me tell you something. You get on the set with these kids that are doing Punky, they are like straight professional. Where I had Amy on the show earlier, and we were talking about how I didn't even realize that I was at work when I was a kid. But as an adult now, I still don't know I'm at work.
It doesn't feel like work.
No, Punky's amazing. So
you know what they say, when you love what you do, that's not it. It's something along those lines, though.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a job. And I was like, you know what? When you get on the set with these kids are different. They know their lines. They know their marks. They know your marks. They know your lines. They're gonna help you through the scene.
I'm glad you said that. Can I ask you this? Both of you guys this. I watched the Fresh Prince reunion, and they said Will, because he never acted before, he would know everybody's lines, and they would catch him mouthing the lines of someone else. You did that, Cherie?
As a kid, I did that. Now, no, I can't even remember my lines. How can I remember everybody else's?
What about you, Lauren? Did you ever experience something?
I have a weird memory. I don't ever sit down and memorize lines. I can read the script like 2 times through and I'll have it down. Like it's such a blessing as an actress to have such a good memory, because it makes the job so much easier, because memorization is like half of it. But yeah, when I was little. Oh, I'm sorry. Go.
No, I was just gonna say, don't have kids. It changes.
Oh, yeah.
What were you gonna say when you were little?
Well, actually, my first project, Austin and Allie, I had memorized everyone else's lines, and one of the other actors forgot their lines, and I told them what the line was, and they got so mad at me. They got so mad, and I learned to never do that again, because it makes them feel bad. So
why'd they get mad if you helped them out?
because I was 10 and they were like 20, and they felt like because I was younger, I shouldn't know more than them in like when it comes to memorization, I guess. So they were frustrated and I felt horrible, and I've never done it since.
Really?
Serious?
Yeah.
No. If I look at you and I say, what's my line? I need help. What's Auntie's line?
Well, if you ask, I'll tell it, but I can't anymore. It's ingrained in me. I can't do it. I won't.
Really? So like little things like that happen stay with you throughout your whole career. Is there anything that happened while filming this season of Punky? And I'll say this season because we're coming back to do another season.
Oh, as we should.
My manifestation Niecy.
Yes! Speak it into existence.
Yes. What did you learn? Did you learn anything that'll stay with you?
I learned a lot actually about film. Like not about being in front of the camera, but about being behind it. Because that's also something I've been really interested in. And Jody, one of our directors, who I love very much, is willing to let me shadow her at one point, which is really exciting because I've always wanted to see the other side of things. So I learned a lot about like angles and, you know, the phrases for things, like what you call stuff.
Yeah.
But I also learned a lot from you guys. I learned a lot by watching. Like you each have very different like comedic timing, I noticed. And in certain times, certain methods of your guys' came across really well. And I was like, I'm going to try that. And it worked. You know, I like take methods from other people as well.
Soleil and I have methods?
Yeah. You actually add your own like voice, if that makes any sense. You add a lot of spice, and sometimes you change the line like this much, but you don't change the line. You change the attitude behind it that I thought would go with the line. You like do something else, and it works so much better than I thought it would. And I was like, wait, I'm going to do that, you know?
Aw, thanks, boo-boos.
Of course. That's what I love about actors. We all have our own style. And it's so interesting to watch.
It is. I'm so impressed by you. I told her all the time, I told her parents, like watching her walk on the set, she really lights up the whole room.
Cherie.
You just got it, baby. So I have a question. What's next? Are we still auditioning for other things? Do you have anything else lined up? My baby can sing. Not sing, sang.
Sang. Okay, well, I've been doing a lot of self-tapes from home, but I've never liked self-tapes. I love going in person more because I'm able to develop a closer connection with the casting directors. And I find that I book a lot more in person than over camera because I can't get like that personality across. And it just feels so fake. And so I don't really know. But I mean, since we're getting a season 2, I'm holding off for that. But I've been, dancing a lot more over Zoom still because Corona. But as for acting, I'm just kind of going with the flow. I obviously want to continue with it, but I'm waiting to see what comes to me.
Oh, and so much is going to come to you, girl. So much.
Cherie.
Seriously, speaking of Corona, you're a kid. You're in school. You're doing dance classes over Zoom. How is that going?
Well, I mean, personally, I did homeschool in 9th grade, so I know what it's like going all online. So it wasn't like a huge transition for me, but I hate not having the social aspect of school because that was kind of the only thing I looked forward to. I've never been really interested in math or anything like that. It's not my strong suit. I love English, not a math kid. So online, it's a little bit harder to maintain concentration and stay motivated, I find. And like dance over Zoom, I keep running into my bookcase, which isn't ideal. It's not the same. It's not the same, but I'm making it work. And I'm making sure to keep a positive mindset so that I don't let myself spiral into this sad pool of sadness. Because it's hard,
Well, you being young as you are, what's your relationship with social media like?
Good question. Well, I find that social media can be an incredibly toxic thing. And sometimes I go down the spiral of comparing myself to other girls on social media, even though I know it's all Photoshop or edited or angles posing. But I also think that there's a lot of good that can come out of it if you use your platform correctly. Like, I see all these people going to parties and not wearing their masks or not promoting social distancing, and I'm like, so you're using your platform to tell young kids that look up to you that it's okay to not follow the protocols.
Right.
So I've been making sure to post a lot of like story videos explaining why it's important to social distance and talking to people and telling them why the vaccine isn't going to put a tracker in their body. And just, I mean, there's a lot of good that can come out of it, but there's a lot of negative stuff as well. So I think you have to find a balance.
Ask you, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cherie's World. We got Miss Quin Copeland on the show today. Quin is joining the cast of Punky Brewster.
Congratulations.
So Quin, you know what? I didn't get to ask you on the set. What was it like auditioning for Punky, and did you even understand what you were auditioning for?
I didn't, but like it was really fun to do that. Like the audition was amazing. Like
Yes. Tell me about the audition process. First of all, how many people were in the room, Quin?
my like when I did the audition or the callback.
When you did the first audition?
The first audition, I was just in my mom's room filming it, and my mom was in there because she had to film it, and she was saying all the other lines like the pizza man and the
She was the casting director.
Yeah, she is. We even have a big chair that I got for my 7th birthday that said my name on it.
What? Like a director's chair? A director's chair?
Yeah, it's a director's chair. And I have a tiny one that actually fits me, and it is a director's chair.
Super cool. I have a little one too, and you know what's on the back of my little one?
What?
Punky Brewster. Amazing. So when you went to your callback, did you actually have to fly to California?
I did.
Tell us all about that.
Like, weird. So I was just waiting out there getting ready for the audition or the callback basically, and it was amazing. I got so excited, and then the microphone broke. So I was there for 3 hours, and I was actually entertaining them for 3 hours, and I didn't even know it was 3 hours.
Wow. How many people were you entertaining?
Like an entire room.
Whoa. And how many people were in the actual auditions? Was it like directors, producers?
I don't even know how many people, but Punky was in there.
Soleil was there? Super cool. And what did Soleil say to you?
To what?
What did she say to you?
She said, she just introduced herself, and I'm like, oh my gosh. In my mind, it like, I freaked out because I actually got to meet her, and my mom literally still watches Punky Brewster. It's crazy and amazing at the same time.
That is awesome.
How old are you, Quin?
7.5.
7.5. Wow.
Man. What's that in your hand, baby girl?
It's a book from school. It's where I write my stuff. It has a unicorn on it.
Oh, is it a journal?
Yeah, it's where I write some stuff. Like, I've even written a story called The Princess and the Monster, and I'm on chapter 4, so basically every page is a new chapter. Except chapter 2 has a page skipped, so then, because I had to do work on that page. So then the next page, I wrote chapter 3, and it was like how the baby monster got trapped. And it was crazy, because I barely even knew how to spell some stuff, like potion or guards or anything.
But that's okay. That's what your journal's all about. So Quin, when you finish your story, are you going to become an author? Does that seem like a book that we're going to have published?
Yeah, maybe.
That I might be able to buy from my daughter?
Yeah, it's called The Princess and the Monster. Every page would be a chapter.
So Quin, you know I'm an author, right?
Wait, I didn't know that?
I am totally an author, and I think that you should totally publish a book, and I think we should do book signings together.
Yeah. I've seen a YouTube channel who made a book. It was really cool though. Yeah. It comes out this year.
So
But I don't know what month.
You don't know what month? Well, do you think you can get your book done this year?
Probably. I mean, like, I would be the first kid to write actually a story.
I know you can do it. I believe in you. And when you do publish your book, I want you to come back to the show and we'll have a show all about your book. Is that cool?
Yeah. That'd be fun.
So
I
Quin,
totally love this kid.
so Quin, for all the audience that might not know, what is your role on the new Punky?
Izzy. She's a homeless kid who has to live in an orphanage. And I just realized I don't know where she sleeps. Just now.
I think we'll find out soon, though. Probably when we go back to work, we'll find out exactly where you're going to sleep.
Yeah.
And it's definitely family. And what I'm really excited about, Quin, is the audience is going to get to watch you grow.
Yeah.
Same way they watched Soleil and I grow.
Mm-hmm.
How
long have you been acting?
I've been acting since 6, so for about like 2 years probably.
Wow. What was your first job, baby?
Waitress. It was a show where this mom was scared to have a baby, and I was her kid. I was this cute little girl, and I was 6. And I had to lie that I was turning 5. No, 6. I can't remember. But it was really fun. And then the next thing I had was all these auditions for other stuff. Like, I don't even know. Sound of Music, commercials, but I didn't do Sound of Music because I was so busy.
Okay.
Being busy is a great thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year I did a audition for a cargo thing or something. And I got to be this little girl who wanted to be just like her mom when she grows up, like wearing red all the time.
Toyota.
Toyota. It was for the new Honda
Toyota Highlander.
Toyota Highlander. It's amazing. It was so fun doing that. And I got to say a bad word.
Oh, wow.
Okay, don't tell me what bad word that you had to say, at least not on air. I'll get you to whisper it.
That is funny.
When we did the pilot, what was some of your favorite parts of being on the show?
Probably getting donuts, because that is amazing, and getting to be with everybody because it's just fun.
It is. What about the ice cream cart?
I can't remember that.
You don't remember the ice cream cart?
Wait, where was it?
Did you get to go to it, or did somebody go get it?
Oh yeah, I had it. I got to go to that. Except they said it's a vegetable cart, and I'm like, stop pranking me. So now we have like these wicked pranks and jokes we're gonna do on everybody.
I'm nervous, but you guys aren't gonna prank me, right? Because I'm the old lady.
No.
What is that? Pizza?
Gummy pizza, remember?
That looks real.
I know, it's creepy.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's from the show. And guess what else I took from the show?
What else did you take?
The Izzy hat.
Did you? I think you deserve that hat.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really lucky hat. I wore it in New York.
Did you?
Yeah, we did. I think it was the day we found out, but I can't remember.
That video is so cute. You were in the hotel?
And we had packed this in the bag without even noticing.
Wait, so what is that again? That's gummy pizza?
It's just fake pizza, not gummy.
It's set pizza. On the show, we had set pizza.
Yeah, I was like,
prop.
Not actually eating it.
Wow.
It's creepy because it looks like it's real. Because I'm like, I said I wanted pepperoni, not any of this black stuff. And they're like, no, it's fake. And I'm like, what? I freak out because I thought it was real. It looked real. But then I saw that these were fake. And I'm like,
the things that kids care about on set, the fake pizza and the hat that she had to wear.
reality. So before Punky Brewster, you were the Rock's son.
Yes.
I am a Rock fan.
Oh yeah, everyone's a Rock fan. I mean, it's the Rock.
Yes. Can you tell me about that experience?
Yeah, well, I filmed Skyscraper when I was 9 and then 10. And we did it in Vancouver, Canada for around 3 to 4 months. And it was a great experience. I mean, first, you get to be around Dwayne Johnson. It's always fun too when you have a kid on set to hang out with, McKenna Roberts, who played my fraternal sister in the TV or in the movie. But yeah, it was amazing. You get a set every day, you get to hang out with all the cool people. We had an awesome director, awesome producers. The stunts were another thing that I really loved. Okay. Yeah, because there were some pretty fun stunts in there.
Wow, I'm gonna have to go. I don't watch movies or TV, so I'm guilty. But I watched your demo reel, and I'm gonna have to watch the movie because I was like, I just found this out last week, people. I was like, my baby, work with the Rock. Go ahead.
Okay, my daughter is 10. My 2 sons is 7 and 6. No, 7 and 5. But anyway, they love the Rock just like everybody else, but they had no idea. So I turned on the WWE network and they were like, I forgot the Rock's name in Jumanji, but they were like, why is whatever his name is in Jumanji on wrestling? They had no idea.
Oh yeah, they had no idea.
I grew up with the Rock being a wrestler, what I mean? So did you know that the Rock was a wrestler first? Because I know you're only 12. So did you know?
Yeah, I did know he was a wrestler. His name, The Rock. That's his wrestling name too. So, yeah, I knew he was a wrestler. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you have any more questions about Skyscraper, Courtney, before I dog into where I really want to go?
Go ahead. I want to get into that too. Go ahead.
Punky Brewster.
Yep.
How did that whole process come about?
Oh, well, first, you get the audition. Yeah. I think I was fishing when my agent emailed my mom the script and stuff. And I got home later that day. Yeah, that's what it was. I got home later that day. I taped it. And then it was about 2 to 3 days. And then they called me back and they were like, hey, we want to do a new tape with you. We're going to give you some more sides. So I did those sides. And then about a week later I got a producer session in LA. So we went out there, we did the producer session, and then we went back home. And then another week, and then we went back to LA, and then that's when we did the final audition.
That's audition 3,
right? That's audition 3.
Okay. Yep. I'm putting it out there for the people who don't understand. This work. Like, this doesn't just happen. Jobs are
you don't just get it and you get it and you move on.
He worked for this. This is 3 auditions. Okay, so final audition.
Yep. And then that was in LA. And then we went back home. And then what was it? It was about probably Halloween. That's when it was. Halloween is when I got the call, when I got the job. I remember I was in my dad's room. I don't know why I was in there. I think I was just on my phone because everywhere else in the house was freezing. So I just went to his office. And then my mom was like, hey, your manager's going to call you. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he called me. And I was like, oh, hi, Brian. How you doing? And he was like, oh, well, Halloween might not be happening this year. And I was like, oh, that's funny. Why? And he was like, oh, well, you got Punky Brewster. And I was like, what? I didn't believe it.
Yeah. No, I don't want to give too much away about your character because people always write me and they're asking me who you are. They're asking me if you're my son. And I always say, well, you just got to watch and see.
You're just going to have to find out,
Yes. So I don't want to give too much away. But what was your feeling like when you got on the set and you were working? Like, had you ever watched Punky Brewster? Have you heard of it? Because it was way before your time.
Yeah, honestly, in the very first audition, I pretty much had no clue what Punky Brewster was. But my mom said she watched it when she was a kid. So when she saw it, she was like, "Oh, Punky Brewster, isn't that the show like I watched when I was your age?" And then I was like, I don't know. And she was like, "Oh, well, yeah." So yeah, I didn't really know a lot about it. But when I did get to set and I got, pretty much the third audition, that's when I was like, wow, Punky Brewster had a cult following. It was pretty big.
Yeah. We got really, really blessed, and we will be really, really blessed again. I am so excited that I get to take this ride with you, because it's so funny hearing you say my mom watched it, because talking to me most of the time, I think I'm your age until I'm reminded, no.
Oh.
Wow.
Really, it was one of the first sets where I could say, I was the oldest person there.
That's funny.
It was, yeah, for you. You are a young professional. You did an amazing job. I know our audience is going to.
Thank you.
I fell in love with you. I know they fell in love with you. What are you looking forward to them most being able to learn about your character?
I think I want people to see Diego as this cool guy. I want people to think of him as like he's like a real person. I want to be able to portray my character so well that I almost become that guy in real life. I'm Diego. But I just want people to see Diego as not a character, but almost as like a real person. Yeah.
Amazing.
When did anybody like talk to you about the original Punky Brewster? Did they say, hey, let's watch some old clips or anything like that? Or did they say that did they say anything about the original to you guys?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I had some people talk to me, or like they were like, "Oh yeah, well, I watched this when I was a kid too, and now I get to work on it." Some of the crew.
Okay.
I watched a couple of clips too, as you said. I think it was that fridge scene.
Everybody.
Yeah. Everyone talks about the fridge scene because that's iconic.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
So I'm telling you, that's the one.
Did you laugh at my bad acting in my chest?
Oh, that wasn't bad acting.
Bad acting.
Look where it got you today. You get to be back on the set.
God.
Bad acting. Yeah.
I was trying to play like I was passed out, but I was like giggling.
That's funny.
Heard across the world.